Hello everyone, and today I'm going to be wrapping up my Booktubeathon. I had so much fun during Booktubeathon and it was such a successful week. Unfortunately, I worked all day on the 7th day of Booktubeathon, so I had to do all the challenges and complete the readathon in 6 days, and I was still very successful. I was really excited because I worked full-time all week, and it was the first time that I did Booktubeathon while I worked full-time, and I was just really happy with what I accomplished. I also did some of the Bookstagram challenges, so go give me a follow at Read by Keeley if you want to go check that out. I didn't do any of the video challenges because I decided I only wanted to do the challenges that I wanted to do, and so there weren't any that I really wanted to do except for day 7, but like I just said, day 7 I couldn't participate in, so hopefully in the future I will be coming out with a video about my favorite book, and that was the challenge for day 7. So let's just get on into this wrap up because I'm so excited to talk about all these books. The first book I read on day 1 was Tales of the Peculiar by Ransom Riggs, and this completed the challenge to read a book with green on the cover, and this book is very green. This is a set of short stories set in the Peculiar Children world, and I just had so much fun reading it. This was a reread for me, and I loved it just as much the second time, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, which is exactly what I gave it the first time, and this was 160 pages. And the next book I also completed on day 1 was Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. I was so excited to read this one because so many people said they loved it from their childhood, and I had never read it. So I ended up really loving it. I thought it was so cute, so I gave it 5 out of 5 stars just because I thought it was a great children's story, and this completed the challenge to wear a hat while reading the same book the whole time, if that makes sense. But yeah, it was so good, and it was 184 pages. So for day 1 I read 344 pages and completed 2 books. On day 2, the first book I read was Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the original screenplay by J.K. Rowling. This was my 3rd book for Booktubeathon, and it completed the challenge to read and watch a book to movie adaptation because I also watched the movie, and it was just so much fun. I hadn't read the screenplay before, and I love reading screenplays. I love the whole world of film and acting. I love it. So I loved reading this so much, and of course I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And this book had 280 pages. And the second book I started on day 2 of Booktubeathon was The Heartbeats of Wing Jones by Katherine Weber, and I read half of this book on day 2. This completed the challenge to read a book with a beautiful spine, and I was so surprised with this book. I thought I was gonna love it, but I didn't expect that it would hit me as hard as it did, and I didn't think that I would be able to relate to it as much as I did. It follows this girl, Wing Jones, who is such a diverse character. She's half black and half Chinese, and her brother is kind of like the golden child, the star athlete, like everyone loves him. One day he gets into this major accident that's his fault, and so she kind of comes out of her shell and she just gets this urge to run, and she starts running and she discovers that she's really good, and it just takes off from there. And I just really loved it because it was very personable and relatable to me. But yeah, I read this half of it on day 2, and I ended up giving it 4.5 out of 5 stars. So on day 2 I read 174 pages of this. Day 2 was actually my biggest reading day because I read 454 pages. So on day 3, like I said, I finished the last 148 pages of The Heartbeats of Wing Jones, and then I picked up Vasa in the Night by Sarah Porter, and this book was the worst book I read of Booktubeathon. I really don't know how to describe it. If you watch my vlogs, you know that this was a very weird book for me. On day 3, I only read half of this book, so I read 152 pages, and the first half wasn't bad at all. It was only in the second half that I kind of started not liking it at all. It was very weird. The storyline was confusing. I didn't understand the magic. So this is set in Brooklyn, and it follows this girl who gets stuck in a grocery store by a witch. It sounds cool, but it was so confusing, so weird. It felt like someone just wrote down their hallucinations, so none of it like made sense and it wasn't cohesive. I ended up giving it 1 out of 5 stars. So on day 3, I actually completed 300 pages. So on day 4, I ended up finishing the last 143 pages of Vast in the Night, and this completed the coin toss challenge. After I finished Vast in the Night on day 4, I read Princess in the Spotlight by Meg Cabot, and this is the second book in the Princess Diaries series, and I read this for the challenge to read a book about something that you want to do, and I want to be a princess, so it was perfect. This one was really, really cute. I just love the whole contemporary princess book genre, because a lot of times we read about princesses in fantasy books and not contemporary, so I really, really liked it. It's also in diary format, and I love diary formatted books, so I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And Princess in the Spotlight was 223 pages, so I ended up reading 366 pages for day 4 of Booktubeathon. And on day 5, I completed the challenge to read 7 books by reading Hotel Ruby by Suzanne Young. So I finished all 7 challenges on day 5 of Booktubeathon. This was 281 pages, and oh my goodness, I loved it so much. This is kind of like a young adult version of The Shining. It follows this girl, actually this whole family, that gets stuck in this hotel for a night, and on the back, or like the synopsis, it says stay tonight, stay forever. So they get stuck in Hotel Ruby, and it's just so good. I don't read a lot of thriller, mystery, horror type of genre novels, but I loved it so much, and I actually gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And then I did have 1 full day left of the readathon, so I decided on day 6 to pick up Princess in Love by Meg Cabot, and this is the 3rd book in the Princess Diaries series. I didn't enjoy this one as much as the second one, but it was still cute and fun to read, and these books are so easy to read. I ended up giving this one 3 out of 5 stars. And this is 229 pages, so that's how much I read on day 6. So within 6 days of Booktubeathon, I ended up reading 1,974 pages, which just blows my mind. I read 8 books in 6 days, which is completely crazy. I had so much fun during Booktubeathon, and I hope you did too. Please let me know if you participated and if you made any videos, wrap-ups, vlogs, so I can go and watch them. But that is it for this readathon and this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!